Hey everybody, this is a Grumpy Old Guy Gaming, and today we are coming to you with a little bit of an arcade shooter here. We're going to be looking at 1943, the Battle of Midway. Um, this, of course, released in 1987, Capcom vertical shooter or shmup, shoot 'em up if you will. As you can see from that fancy little graphic I typed up in Paint in about 45 seconds. Going to be doing a two-player run here, and this is me and my son playing. He's been in kind of a mode where he's been bugging me to help out with a video, and so I thought this would be a fun way to work him in, and a chance for me to sort of goof off here and try some different graphics and things to sort of fill up the screen, make it look all nice and prettyful for you guys. We sat there and decided on a number of credits we'd throw in ahead of time. He said 5 continues each, although I'm pretty sure that's not how it works. You just take the next continue when the credits were available, plus they're capped at 9 credits anyway. But we will be doing a total of 12 credits here, again playing on emulation on my computer. I am the yellow plane, my son is the red plane. So he would figure out, much to his chagrin, about halfway through this level here. It's just your classic vertical scrolling shooter, trying to dodge the enemies that are coming directly at us and shoot everything that moves. Going to be given a different mission level. That's going to be our boss at the end of the round. And each stage is broken up in a sort of battle stage where we're fighting off enemies and henchmen planes and things, and then we get the sighting of our target, and then a boss stage where we have another rush of minor enemies followed by the boss itself, which is usually some sort of giant ship or plane that's got several stages. See there, visual contact with surface forces confirmed, commencing attack, and this is the attack run here. It's got a really fun sort of look to it. The power-ups are great. This is actually a really fun game to play. Vertical shooters, as you can tell from the small amount of them I've uploaded, not really my favorite thing to play overall, but when I do get into them, I get into them pretty well. And this is a fun one for me because it was one of the first, classic retro games that my son sort of gravitated towards. He saw it, he saw the colors, and the action was so smooth, he couldn't help but get into it. At the end of the day, you're just moving around and hitting the fire button. Of course, he hits the special attacks as well, which take up a good bit of your energy and everything. Just kind of guiding around. You see me sort of hugging the bottom of the screen there. Get through our mission. We completed it, 84% destroyed, and we are returning to the carrier. Now, he did have to burn a continue there, which cut his score down quite a ways. I was lucky, though. I made it through intact and in relatively good health through that first stage, going into the second target now. May you fight bravely as we head off the carrier. I'm just sort of idling there. The power-ups you pick up are on a timer, and you could either add to them, pick up new power-ups, pick up the same power-up to add to the timer, or just get some power back into your gauge. You have sort of a health/energy bar, where if you use your special attacks or get hit, it goes down by a good chunk, and even just moving through, you will expend some of that energy. So it's important to be on the lookout for those power-ups. My son just picked up the rapid fire there. That's probably one of my favorite, along with the spray shot. Not so much the shotgun, but the shotgun's got its uses. And there's also a bomb, which is just a single row missile, but it does a ton of damage. That could be fun too, especially when you're coming up on ships and you've just got the rows of gun turrets lined up. There we hit our visual contact again, and I hit the high score. Nice little added bonus for me there. We've played it a couple times previously. It's just sort of a chill thing, kinda do. Normally we'd play this while waiting for like just a little downtime before we do something else. Hop on, play a quick board or two of 1943. Here I've finally crashed, so I had to start over, and yeah, he actually made a point to point out that his score was higher at this point. Gotta love kids, don't you? See the little enemy ships deploying from the carrier bay there. Have to shoot at the door until it's broken and they can't send more ships out. Kind of just making our way through here. Do finish off with the ship and move on our way. Another success in the books. This one 89% destroyed, so we did better on the second stage than the first. Score's not going to project that, but again, we're not experts here by any means. Playing with the inherent beauty of unlimited credits if so we chose, but we set our predetermined number and that's what we stuck to. Ended up putting 3 extra credits in once we had burned a couple lives to hit our predetermined number of 12, and that was it. Now you can see I'm shooting that shotgun pattern there. And it's a little different than the spray. It shoots out quicker in that burst. Also seems to have a little bit wider of a radius, but it doesn't cover the whole screen. So kind of true to its name, you want to get up close and just pepper whatever you're fighting against. And the shotgun burst is really useful against those minion enemies. We've both had the spread shot there for a little bit. Still do at the moment. Always nice when you get that going. And these little first half of the board runs. See a nice amount of detail here. Things moving up and down, in and out of the clouds, and you see islands underneath. Really is a very nice looking game. Of course, loosely based on the Pacific theater of World War II. Much easier to get into than my first gaming exposure with this specific medium. My dad was a proponent of the Avalon Hill board games, which are classics in their own right and fantastic to play. Unfortunately, and especially with me in my younger days not exactly having the most strategic bent to my mind, it seemed like they would be an hour of setup for a half hour of gameplay. And that's just no fun at all to a kid. There you see we had that ship to take down, and we shot it out of the sky, but I ended up going down at the same time there. So literally all of my points here as we're tallying up are just going to be the bonus points for completing the mission. Get our next target, and off we go. Yeah, that little thunderstorm attack is a special attack, and it does drain your energy bar. Don't know if my son realized it or not, but he did enjoy spamming the hell out of that button, especially against an empty screen. So that little exploding, sort of deploying parachute kind of thing, that's the shotgun shot. Picked up a power-up there as well. Generally like as much distance as I could get between myself and the enemies in vertical shooters, but you can't just camp out on the bottom of the screen because they'll have those planes coming up from underneath as well. So in a way, the shotgun shot sort of helped me out here because it reminded me I couldn't just camp out in the bottom 10%. Which I would totally do otherwise, and if you want proof of that, just check out the old upload I did on Astro Warrior. Also something nice about just playing co-op. something you kinda miss every now and then in gaming. Just being able to sit down with someone right next to you and just play the heck out of a game. Of course, I've been getting a fair bit of that lately. I've been a little spoiled in that regard. The missus and I have been playing a bit of Diablo 3 and got to do this multiplayer upload. And of course, there's always the party runs on Fragment, being able to voice chat with people, just sort of pick their brains, and just shoot the breeze in general. Actually just got done as of the recording of this. Was previously on running a couple dungeons with emus. Always a fun conversation on that. Plenty of good single player content too. You hate to see your boy crash land in the ocean in front of you. Perils of being a World War II fighter pilot in an arcade game, you know? Getting back to it, and I'm just using the shotgun blast to take out the smaller gun turrets. I know I stand no chance against the larger guys, and I'm mainly just trying to stay clear there. I know we're going to get our completion here because we did more than enough damage to that ship. Sure enough, we did complete it, but only 62% destroyed. You can see this is where things are kind of winding down for us. Get our refuel and go. I mean, this level just starts out heavy. Like, there's very little downtime, and the wave is pretty strong from the beginning. This is like that moment after the second stage, after the second challenging stage in Galaga, where you're looking at all the little bugs coming at you hyper speed, and every wave's got stuff to crash you, and you're like, yeah, it just got real. And we were certainly at that point. I mean, even trying my best to keep an eye on everything, it was impossible to keep an eye on everything. And this is pretty much game over time for us. But we had a pretty good run, and I hope you enjoyed this little playthrough with me gabbing away over it. This has been 1943, the Battle of Midway, vertical shooter, and this is the arcade version. This has been a Grumpy Old Guy Gaming, thanking you for watching, and hoping to see you in the next.